Hey everybody, welcome to P-Dub's Arcade Loft. And our loft is a mess at the moment. We've been spending the last couple hours ever since my Chicago Bears squeaked out a victory over those pesky Denver Broncos today at the very last second. In fact, at the very last 0 second. No time left. Field goal, timeout, Bears win. Hey guys, we've been tinkering with our Mortal Kombat Costco bundle. A lot of videos going around the group pages. We've definitely been trying to highlight, the new LCD monitor. It definitely looks to be a more, I would say, 4:3 aspect ratio compared to, I think that was what, 5:4 on the original Mortal Kombat cabinet. Just as a reminder, I was under the impression potentially better sticks and buttons, but what we have here are the original sticks and buttons. Really no differences discovered there when we tore apart the control decks. Anywho, so want to give you guys some updates on where we're at. Some folks have been requesting, hey, what kind of speakers can we plug into this thing? I would definitely recommend that if you want to add your own sound system to the new sound port that Arcade1up has given us on the new PCB board with the standard audio jack there, you definitely don't want to go with a Bluetooth speaker or any kind of speaker where you could plug in with the audio jack, for instance on this one here, into the machine, because on a Bluetooth speaker or something like this where you cannot manually control the volume, if you turn around and plug this in, it's going to automatically play at maximum volume, and there's really no way to turn it down. So it's going to blow your ears out, possibly blow your speakers. Anywho, taking a peek, I ran over to Goodwill today. I bought some cheap speakers. I figured, hey, if we're going to do this, and if we're just in the testing phase, let's see what we can find out there that we can just play around with and all that kind of stuff. I got good news, bad news. Good news is I'm very confident that if you have Logitech speakers for your PC and where they have a volume control either on the speaker or a separate remote, like this particular computer set has the separate remote with the volume on it. Sometimes they have it here or maybe even on the subwoofer, who knows. These should work. However, this particular set, as you can imagine from Goodwill, doesn't work at all. So obviously these broke on somebody, and then they just dropped them off at Goodwill instead of throwing them in the trash. So we'll have to go return those and get our $8 back. I was actually kind of excited when I found that package. I thought, hey, we're going to get a decent little set here, but it doesn't work at all. However, this particular set absolutely does work. This is, and here's a brand which you can Google on Amazon or eBay or whatnot, Alltech Lansing. And this one actually sounds pretty good. These speakers are a little shot, probably why the person dropped them off at Goodwill. Keep in mind, I haven't noticed that weird hissing noise that we've seen in the past on the Mortal Kombat version 1 cabinet. Haven't heard that at all. There's going to be a little static on these, but I believe that's just because these are older speakers that somebody just didn't want anymore because they weren't working perfectly. When we fire them up, as you can see, they give us some good sound, and we could find a way to mount these on our cabinet somewhere. So definitely recommend, if you're going to pick up speakers, make sure you get ones that have a volume control somewhere. Otherwise you're going to be stuck on maximum volume when you put this bad boy in. Also, let's get to the bane of all of our existence, this pesky micro USB port. Keep in mind, I've done all kinds of research. When you look at the Arcade1up PCB board, there's item numbers, there's model numbers written everywhere. I've done 20 different kinds of Google searches trying to figure out, see if we can find some information that way. and I keep coming up short. I haven't had any luck, fellas. I was hoping I could find something about this board online so we could figure out what this port does. No word yet from Arcade1up. I also sent them a tweet today on their Twitter, and I messaged them on their Facebook page, and no response from them, nothing but crickets. But hey, maybe it's because it's Sunday. Let's see if we get a response tomorrow. I've also gone so far as to run a... hang on, I'm going to turn the sound off here. Just bear with me a quick second, guys. Sorry about all the camera movement. I've also gone so far as to do UPC barcode scanners. Scanning these barcodes, the only thing that pops up is a text file when you scan them. And when you usually when you do a barcode scan, especially on this one here, this is the only one that'll read. The one on the right from RJ. Obviously the developer was BOE, and I think they partnered with RJ and developed the monitor. This barcode will scan a text file, and it has a link to a web search, but when you click on it, the web page is blank. There's nothing there, so no luck there. Struck out there as well. Also, kind of a funny story. Today I played with the toggle switch. We were under the impression that the toggle switch, which is right there, it's set to on right now, would control the marquee. Well, and that, for instance, the way it is right now, if you turn the machine on, the marquee goes on. If you turn the machine off, the marquee goes off. I was under the impression this was an override, and perhaps, this, if you turn it off, maybe it would leave the marquee off the entire time. Maybe some people don't want their marquee up and running, or maybe it deactivates the monitor. Turn it to off position, and guess what? Nothing happened. Still had sound, still had picture, marquee still on. It basically did nothing. So I'm wondering if, the only other thing I could think of is maybe on-off, say, high scores. I mean, I actually haven't played the machine enough to set a high score on it for wins in Mortal Kombat to see if anything saves in there. So maybe that's on-off for save scores. Who knows? All I know is when I toggle it on or off, nothing's happening. Anyone else who's picked up the bundle, if you hit that toggle button and it actually does something, because you never know, maybe my toggle button doesn't work, please let the group know. Definitely, I don't think our current driver boards are going to work on this thing, because the pins, like the red pins, are to the right versus the left. I mean, unless you just plug the cable in the other way. I do love the fact that they grounded the monitor there instead of on the board. It's a lot easier getting this thing in and out. Honestly, I'm at my wit's end with the micro USB. For those of you who love Retro Ralph like I do, he had a live stream going today where he was trying various options. I thought I cracked it as well. I honestly thought with the right dongle converter wire, I could get a keyboard in here, and that way I could get into maybe through the EJB or setting menu or something, and then manipulate options and things like that. I tried various keyboards, various options, and nothing worked. I mean, I literally ran through all the wires in my house. Just to answer a question, somebody had asked me on, I think, this YouTube channel, or on Facebook, one of the Facebook group pages, I can't remember, said, well, hey, maybe it's a micro HDMI port. I can confirm for you that's absolutely not true. This is your micro HDMI, you know, your standard HDMI right there, to your micro HDMI, which, by the way, wouldn't that have been awesome if that was a micro HDMI port, and you could maybe set this up in some way to have this connected to another monitor, another machine, or to a TV, something of that nature. Unfortunately, obviously, as you can see here, you know, micro, sorry about the camera, guys, micro HDMI is just simply way too big. It's not going to fit in there. Unfortunately, I'm holding, I can't use two hands, so I really can't get in there and show you. It's definitely a typical one of these old school micro USB jacks kind of fit in there. They fit in there really snug, really simple, that kind of thing. So obviously it's there. It's meant for something. We don't know what yet. I tried keyboards, controllers, multiple converter wires. Anything I plugged in here whether I went to a monitor. I mean, hell, I did whatever I could. Monitor, keyboard, game pads, I could not get anything going. So it's almost back to the drawing board. I actually have a couple other ideas, which I'm going to shoot for during the week, but I do have to go back to work tomorrow, and we have, I have business travel this week as well, so I'll be traveling to Viva Las Vegas, so on Wednesday, Thursday, but I'll be back Friday. Anyway, hopefully we can get this figured out. If someone else figures it out, let me know. I have, hopefully Arcade1up maybe will respond as well and let us know. Kind of shocked that we don't have, why none of this was advertised, like anywhere. Facebook, Twitter, online, just nowhere. Did they mention the improvements to the PCB board and the different monitor and the different developer for the monitor and all that kind of stuff. But either way, I know we're all going to get this figured out, and we're going to be super stoked when we do figure it out. I think that's all I have for right now, guys. Stay tuned. Hopefully my other couple of ideas pan out. And but then again, if anyone cracks the code before good old P-Dub, as I'm hiding here in my little loft, my little arcade loft, I will be waiting with eager ears and eyes for the solution to this bane of my existence, this micro USB port. Who is your daddy and what does he do? Have a great day, guys.